Witam was bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku Zagrajmy w Not Broadcast. Kontynuujemy gierkę. Ostatnio graliśmy Teletun, dodatkowy rozdział. No i lecimy dalej z fabułą, teraz tą prawdziwą. Dowiedzieliśmy się, że Peter Clement po prostu w przeszłości był pomocnikiem tutaj w kanale pierwszym, a teraz został premierem. Co tu mogę powiedzieć, no? Ostatnio byłem w Toruniu, dosłownie wczoraj jak nagrywam ten film, czyli 26 maja, czy już tak. Zwiedzić miasto ze znajomymi, bo plan był po prostu zwiedzić coś nowego, nie? Bo tak to mamy łazić tylko po tym samym mieście, które jest wielką dziurą, to nie chce się już człowiekowi. I nawet przyznam fajnie, bo do jakiegoś tam fajnego baru weszliśmy. Dosyć ciekawe miejsce, nie pamiętam nazwy teraz, bo w sumie sprawdzę. Mam zapisane. Bar Mistut w Toruniu. Bardzo serdecznie polecam, byście kiedyś byli. Wejdźcie tam i sobie, że tak powiem, obczajcie to miejsce. Dość długo ładuje dzisiaj. Nie wiem czemu, ta gra ma jakieś problemy dzisiaj. Dysk mi nie wyrabia. Muszę coś sprawdzić. Jakieś gówna mam pewnie w tle powłączone, które zapierdalają dysk, że tak powiem. Czemu mam włączonego Vanguarda? Ja pierd... Nie gram przecież w tego już, jak to się nazywało, to od Ligi Legend, gówno, strzelanka. Valorant, nie gram w to już. A kiedyś grałem w tego Valoranta, to jest takie gówno. O, dzień się nie wyświetla, jest zajebiście. Ale 8. Dzień 15. Późna noc. Teraz... Hey, 11. No to puśćmy go, no. Dobra, pojedźmy po chłopu, tam jakieś wyjście było i... O. No taki przerywnik był. Nasz syn chciał gdzieś tam pójść po prostu i się na to zgodziłem. O. Teraz są święta, tam... Spędzamy święta z rodziną, no hej, nice. Dobra, znieśmy toast. Proszę. No nie ma pieniędzy, że tak powiem, bo nikt na wakacje mieli dostać, że tak powiem, obiecaliśmy prezent, że dostaną pieniądze na wakacje, no ale Warring Debet to jednak Merry fucking Christmas dokładnie. Niestety nie pozwala na to. Kanoniczne pisanie osób. No. Jest to... Dostaliśmy pieniądze od rządu, bo byliśmy biedni. Dzięki temu, że nie dałem paszportu swojemu bratu, to teraz pieniądze dostałem. Zajebiście. O, well off, od razu. Przeprosi o więcej pieniędzy, bo... No, że tak powiem, praca jest ważna jednak. I trzeba niestety, jak szef każe przyjść, to trzeba jednak jeśli rzucić coś, nie? Starting to get rich. Advanced go-getters today. A dla syna podpiszemy to. Syn się ucieszy, że do tego programu Go-Getters dołączy free ticket. A! 2 darmowe te listy. No, darmowy ticket. Pójdzie się na pana Alana Jamesa i jego tam... Profitable Partnership. Tutaj można sobie wybrać, że tak powiem, z jaką firmą podpisze się umowę. A, to z Pressure Corpem podpiszę. Multiple Holidays. Stałem się bogaty. Dzień 153 i tu się zaczyna dopiero gra. No dużo było tych takich przerywników między wiadomościami, bo trochę teraz później przeszliśmy z fabułą. No już 153 dni jak Advance przyjął władzę i się póki co... No, dla nas jako operatora wiadomości w tym pokoiku się dobrze zmieniło i jesteśmy bogatsi w przeciwieństwie do bogatych ludzi, którym odebrali pieniądze wcześniej, nie? The Tempest. A Busman dzwoni? Też pada na zewnątrz. To musi być puszczone. Jakie proste. Może Kryzinila zamienię z tym. Check your prostata. A to są kamery pobugowane. Bo one powinny być na odwrót i się będą zmieniały. Bo on normalnie jest na jedynce, a on na dwójce, więc... Ogólnie się studio zmieniło, jak można zauważyć.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative,
Awans została, bo teraz jest z nim Anchorem
on thousands of
głównym.
buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record
Disrupt.
approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid
Operation Survive wezmę.
and David Wong announced today that they're considering two possible options.
With two of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
Without enough engineers to successfully fix their craft, the team seem likely to attempt to farm the cavern's ecosystem while they wait for rescue from above ground. I think I'll stick to risotto, Jeremy.
Bearing their
No
opinion,
i zmieniła się kamera, jak mówiłem.
fighting back.
Jest zbugowany.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not
Ten gość jest chyba jednym z głównych osób odpowiedzialnych za twór broadcast, z tego co wiem. Bo się pojawiał na streamach.
Johnny Hamsleys and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year.
Nie będę mu psuł życia.
Sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Could we be on the verge of the biggest celebrity wedding since professional wrestler Randy Grizzlenuts McFridge married his longtime tag team partner Tina Tiny Hands last year in a wrestling ring made entirely of cake?
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sports?
And radical ideas. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a surprising new project that already has the markets raising an eyebrow.
Known for taking risks and
Channel 12 albo
could the adventurous CEO
Junior's Employer.
business giant
To jest lepsze.
or taking it to a new level of success?
We understand the Mobile Orientation Operational Borrowing Service will be a new international travel system based around the construction of a major tunnel through the centre of the Earth. Sophia Rimington claims it will make travelling from one side of the world to the other the matter of an afternoon. Geologists are concerned about the implications of digging a hole through the planet, while flat earthers claim it should be quite easy.
With that exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later,
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you
Patrick
live
Bannon, syn tego Grahama Badana.
Squad final.
you won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
I intro się zmieniło. Nie, burza jest na zewnątrz, trzeba uważać.
First tonight, after the
A jednak ona jest
caused
pierwsza
by
przy gadaniu.
Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf
No.
of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan.
I poznajemy też nową postać, Robin Short.
Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
And you be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes. That'll be
Smell like love.
scented perf.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our
Ile tych zakłóceń?
before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Jolly cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
Pogoda nie jest za ciekawa na dworze.
Eyes that said you're my very best friend. But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be for just $89.99. And then it's the general error 41.
And is that when he burst into
Look
flames?
careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite
You-
enough of
Timmy?
you two coming in here with your camera, trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can
No,
call
you've had your
normal again?
questions, and now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're
I will
Do you
not
think your
have
parents
it
will ever
here,
really love you
Marjorie.
again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on,
I'm
baby.
happy, Mr. Tadlock.
Your poster, your favourite poster. Timmy, are you okay? Oh.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding.
Back to you.
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
Co tam się stało? Kurde.
Sophia Millington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks on new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around.
Sports vs Finals.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
Very good.
Kurde.
Megan. Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dipping into my head.
Women are coming.
Alex, Boson, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and stop the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Spoko. No, pada ostro na dworze. DJ of Screws, cześć, tak? Screws. Chłopy śrubki, kurwa, pokazują.
Well, that's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
Deszcz pada.
4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, sports board. Patrick?
Jest Patrick Bannon. Oczywiście ten sam aktor grał Grahama i Patryka. Ten sport jest dziwny, powiem tak.
And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes and a divorce pending. It's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on.
Bezsensowny sport póki co.
Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time.
Nie, jaki to ma sens rzucanie piłką, żeby nie trafić w kosz. No, spada mi oglądalność, bo za długo byłem na kamerze.
Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad, if you ask me.
Not bad.
To Harris. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better.
Ten sport jest bezsensowny. Ja do dnia dzisiejszego nie rozumiem tego sportu, co w nim chodzi, nie?
Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense.
Tak, bo to ma sens.
Striker giving it large. Second round, double. Harris wins round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch.
O nie.
Doesn't we broadcast any of that stuff? She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore. And women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harry's absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the Heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound.
Ground sound.
Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket.
Się ruszać nie mogą.
I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding
Ona się ruszyła.
display here absolutely blooming jaw dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, we've always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves. 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
Sponsored by Remington Smith. A jest tutaj logo RS-u.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security is on it. And the bucket has been knocked over. I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now.
No nie.
Flying around for all to see.
O nie.
Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ball boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Thank you. Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye.
Się spociła niby.
Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket.
No wiadomo.
Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact, a caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Okay, something's going on here. Yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on!
This is the mime round.
Jagger.
Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it?
Chłop rzuca niewidzialną piłką.
Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go in there at this point. Really high little play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Ona nic nie podnosi przecież. Dlaczego? Kto ten sport wymyślił? Ja chcę poznać tego człowieka. Jest moim jednym z idoli, po prostu.
And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg, and now she's spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on, from striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's got it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is everyone!
Wszyscy, kurwa?
Including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight.
On też wygrał. Co jest? Co to jest za sport? Ojoj.
And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
when we come back,
Mam tego advansa? Mam.
I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia
Chyba
Salisbury
piorun ich poraził.
who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
No piorun trafił w instalację elektryczną, najprawdopodobniej ich poraziło.
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Postman again.
No cóż.
From the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit dangerous. Now I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Postman out.
Buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well,
Co tam na jedynkę?
Gonna need a whole new lining up there. Triple C,
We'll look into it, Minister. It's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
Man, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
here with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Is your sea damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't.
A zdążyłem, prawie mnie poraziło.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital.
Coś mi pisze na
Oh, no, you definitely.
Discordzie, nie mogę odpisać niestety.
You've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whinging.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
So much.
O, właśnie.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office.
Ładnie potrafi trzasnąć. O.
But they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Okay, it's not usually how it works, but.
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
Beth?
sorry, yes, it's camera all like that.
When I was 13, me mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. Me granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. We were all frail and pale. I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds.
It was awful. Awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off.
Julia tam siedzi sucha po prostu.
But she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline. Into
This microphone pack has just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it fried my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
No, yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, I rolled your face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation
O nie.
might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable. That grandmother with a rusty twat.
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathtaking pace.
Ależ mnie pieprzą.
You've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Ej, nas trzasnęło teraz porządniej.
So they just... Actually, I suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
No. No, w skrócie z centrum eutanazji, oto tylko Aman. Pewnie przez pokazywanie tych frajerów. Na plaży akurat do góry poszło. Kiedyś też, Remington switch w dół. Oko też w dół. Advance lubiany. Disrupt lubiany. Channel 1 dobrze o mnie mówi. I to by było na tyle w sumie. Do zobaczenia w przyszłych odcinkach z Not for Broadcast. Cześć.